Welcome! You found it! Two-octave D major scale for the violin. What you're going to do for D major is play in two different positions. You start in first position and then you get to shift to third position. That's pretty exciting. And we'll talk about how to do it and where those notes are on the instrument. Before you start practicing your scales, make sure your instrument is in tune. Go to tuner.ninja for a free tuner resource. Or make sure you go to the App Store and just download one, again, for free. Now, next thing to consider. Once the instrument's in tune, make sure that while you're practicing, you have excellent posture. Or at least the best posture that you understand at this point in your development. We want to make good habits. And remember, anything you practice, you get better at. So if your wrist collapses, you get better at that. If the elbow's pointing the wrong way, you get better at that. If your bow hand looks like you're holding a club, well, you get better at that. So make sure that when you're practicing, you're doing your very best because we want it to be effective and efficient and not have to fix it later on as you become aware, oh no, I had a collapsed wrist. Okay, if you're ready to go, here we are, two-octave D major scale. Before we play, we better know what notes we have to deal with. So let's take a look. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Now it's a two-octave scale, so we'll be doing that rotation twice. Let's find the first octave. It starts on open D. We put our first finger down. That note is E. Now we have F sharp. Make sure you have a nice distance between E to F sharp. Listen, and if you're not sure it's accurate, keep that tuner nearby so you can make sure you're playing in tune. Third finger G. Are you still on the tip of your finger? I hope so. Here's open A. First finger B. And then a nice high second finger, C sharp. Now here's where violinists will teach it different ways. I'm going to teach you to shift to third position here so that you can practice being in third position and how to build that hand position across two strings. Of course, you could play this going up the E string. This is just an additional skill to help you get more comfortable playing across the A and the E string in third position. So let's go ahead and move to third position. That means our first finger B slides up to first finger on high D. So putting our first finger on D, notice how my hand is still the same shape. Here's B, here's D. All I do is close my elbow. Here's something that you might have noticed. If you did this and left your thumb behind, that's no good. Let's make sure we move the entire hand up to first finger, high D. That means our second finger, a whole step away, is second finger E. And then our third finger, if we keep it close, that'd be F. We still want F sharp. And then on the tip of our pinky, here's fourth finger G. Notice that my hand is around the instrument. If I do this and have smush fingers, I'm going to be out of tune and not make a very nice sound. Okay, we had first finger D, second finger E, third finger F sharp, fourth finger G. We don't shift again, but we're out of fingers, which means we roll over to the E string. If you stay in third position and put your first finger down on the E string, that note is A. Then you put your second finger down a whole step away, that note is B. Put your third finger down, that note is C sharp. Then tips of our finger, fourth finger, really high D. Great. Before you do the full scale, here's something to talk about for third position. Your fingers are going to be in slightly different places, slightly different spaces. As we move up the instrument's fingerboard, the distances between the notes get smaller and smaller. So it's really important that you practice what it feels like to play in third position because it's slightly different than first position. If you've been playing for a couple of years, you might have some really great habits in first position for distances. You've got to do the same thing now for third position, making sure that you know where where those notes are exactly. So I would definitely recommend keeping a tuner nearby and making sure every time you play a first finger that you check with your open string that they match, because we want that to be a great anchor for third position. All right. If you feel like you'd like to practice on your own, this is a great place to stop. You can review all the notes. You can review third position. You can review how to shift. You can practice going from first to third position. Once you feel very comfortable with where all those notes are, well then start doing some rhythmic variations. You could play long notes so that your left hand can stay slow, so you can be thoughtful, so you can pay attention to your sound, and you can make a beautiful sound from the frog to tip. Then, as you get more and more mastery of the scale, then you can start doing variations. 4 times per note, 3 times per note, 2 times per note, maybe playing 8th notes or 16th notes, and even adding slurs. Once you have a great foundation with the left hand, you can start doing all sorts of things to use that as a tool to develop other skills on the violin. Well done today. Thanks for stopping by. Good job. And remember, if you practice every day, by the end of the year, you'll be taller.